What's up, guys? Alex here from High Banks Podcast. I hope everybody's having a great week going into Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend as well and enjoy the long weekend for most people. So just wanted to hop on here, do a little reaction video to the All-Star race from last week and how kind of bad it was in my eyes. And it seems like a lot of other people's eyes as well. Definitely had some mixed reviews. Mostly what I saw was pretty bad. NASCAR likes to build up the race, go for the $1 million, big payday for these drivers and teams and all that, which is really nice for that aspect. Also the pit crews, if they get the fastest time during a certain stage, they win 100K, which went to Joey Logano's team. So that's nice as well. Definitely, something that I guess incentive for the teams and drivers and everything to do really well and make it more competitive. But the actual overall race was not really up to par. I think that there could have been a lot more done. First off, by being at a different spot other than Texas, I think that it should be at a different track each year, possibly, or do a couple races a year at a certain track and then move on to another one. Other sports, baseball, basketball, do all-star, they're all-star games in different cities each year. The Super Bowl's in a different city each year. So I think that, they could do something like that and it would still be fun. It would still gain a lot of fans. And, you still do the $1 million thing and all that stuff. But overall, I think the race was not that good. The ending, I guess if you don't watch the sport that much, it could have been a great ending. But for the fans who watch it all the time and follow the sport religiously and watch every race every week and everything like that, it was not a good ending. As you can see, I am a Ryan Blaney fan, and it was nice to see him win the All-Star race and win that $1 million. But I think he won it twice pretty much for the most part. I think that the first time that he won, so to speak, was taken away because of the rule they have in the All-Star race where the caution flag can't end the race. Blaney was about 100 yards to the finish to get the win the first time, and they threw the caution for Stenhouse on the backstretch, who barely hit the wall that bad. All the cars got by him, and I think there was no need for a caution, especially with it that late in the game there. It was about to be over in another second. And plus, I don't know if NASCAR wanted to do it where they had a more exciting finish, I guess you could say. I don't know what their idea was going, for this, throwing the caution there, but I think it for sure definitely was won twice by Ryan Blaney. And after the first one, he thought he won, didn't hear the announcement that there was a caution, or the caution came out right before he took the checkered, that he started taking his window net down. And from a driver's standpoint, from what I've heard, what I've seen, that it's pretty much impossible to put the window net back up yourself while in the car. And he was trying his best to get it up and didn't want to come to pit road. I think he said NASCAR gave him a couple extra laps there to try and get it secured. But for the most part, you're not going to get it up. But I got it secured enough to where it was up there, and ended up winning the race again in overtime. But obviously mixed reaction from drivers, fans, all over Twitter and everything else. Were really, really killing NASCAR for that ruling at the end of the race. And it just, Texas is not, I guess everything's bigger in Texas. Having the All-Star race there, they put on a good show. I'm not saying they didn't put on a good show as far as for the fans that were there and everything, but as far as on TV, we even heard, Mike Joy and the guys in the booth on Fox say that, they know what was wrong. They just weren't going to say it. So they even saw the writing on the wall there too with this past year's All-Star race. And it just, you know, it is what it is. It's just one of those things where it was a bad call by NASCAR at the end. And it should have been over the first go round. But obviously it wasn't. But same outcome as far as winner goes. Ryan Blaney was the winner. But Denny Hamlin had some comments as far as after the race. They saying they should have black flagged Blaney for the window net thing, just because in a normal race they probably would have. But also he thought that the race should have been over the first time when Blaney actually won the first time. So, you know, he didn't really agree with the ruling there. And I think that kind of goes into some of that, him trying to expand, you know, 2311 racing. He's not going to do it right now because of the fact of how NASCAR, the ruling, and, you know, he's not going to do anything until he sees some change in the sport. So definitely mixed reviews. Twitter tore up NASCAR. Definitely not a lot of people on Twitter like the race at all, or the ending outcome there. But, you know, everybody still watched it. So, you know, that's the thing there, where it kind of comes into play is like everyone talks a lot of smack about Texas and, you know, the All-Star race being there and everything like that, myself included. But at the end of the day, everybody still watched the race pretty much, and just kind of agreed that it was a bad race. And, you know, here we are. So you know, Memorial Day weekend, we got the Coke 600, F1s in Monaco, Indy 500. So big weekend of racing here. And yeah, we got to put Texas in the past. Thank God it's over. And, you know, we can move on to this weekend where it should be good racing all weekend. So I did put a poll up on the Twitter page, _Banks_. Go follow the page. Kind of like Jeff Gluck does every week, as far as running a poll. Was it, you know, this certain race a good race? You know, whatever. Yes, no, you vote. Well, pretty much, I think 100% voted that the All-Star race in Texas was not a good race. So, like I said, a lot of people in agreement on that, as far as the All-Star race just not living up to its name. I think as far as the $1 million go, you know, that's good money for the teams and the organizations to, you know, get better equipment, better stuff, whatever, even though usually the winner comes from a team that already has all the resources and everything like that. But, you know, some drivers have said they only promote this as like go get the $1 million check, do that, you know, and there's ways that they could probably promote it a little bit differently. So it wouldn't be just about the $1 million. The qualifying setup was, you know, different, as far as the pit crews were involved. They had a, you know, fastest pit stop to get, you know, do a full lap. And that's how, you know, came with the pole winner here. That was Kyle Busch. Obviously, he's had a fast pit crew his whole career there at JGR. And this just kind of proves that they've had the fastest pit stop in NASCAR history, subpar 10-second. Not subpar, excuse me, sub 10-second pit stop in you know, live race format. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot that NASCAR needs to work on, as far as if they went back and looked at this race, look how it ended, look at the rules they came up with that they could change to make it better. I think starting at a different track would go a long way in the eyes of, you know, NASCAR fans. Moving it away from Texas, and Texas gets a playoff race as well. So we got to endure another one of these later on in the season when it counts even more. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens here. Contracts are in play, obviously, with SMI and everything like that. So we'll have to see, you know, kind of what happens in the future going forward here with the All-Star race. But if NASCAR listens to the fans and sees the backlash from drivers, fans, so on and so forth, then maybe they'll figure out, okay, well, maybe there's something we got to change here. But like I said, you know, we'll see what happens. There is contracts. It's still a business involved here. So we'll see if something going forward changes. So, you know, that was pretty, that's what I wanted to touch on the All-Star race. Like I said, obviously happy that my man Ryan Blaney back here he was the winner of the All-Star race. So I get the, get to order the diecast, first next gen diecast. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, as far as anything else goes, I mean, we got Jacob Jones. He's the official music partner of the High Banks podcast on Spotify, which we'll have the link down below for that. New episodes weekly for that. And he actually has a new song out, Son of a Military Man, out everywhere now. So go check that out. It's pretty cool. Coming out with some new music. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully Nick will be able to join us, and we'll be able to bring us some more feedback together as far as anything else happening in the world of NASCAR. Catch you guys next time.